If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss the next one. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd do some, it's a lovely day outside, but I'm not going to go out. I'm going to do some stuff indoors today, and the reason being is I looked at the walls in my studio and I thought, you know, I could do with a few frames going on in there. So I went out and bought some frames, and I'm going to make some pictures. Now you're probably wondering why I've got all these cameras sitting around. Well, I'm only going to be using one camera. The rest of them I'm going to be taking photographs of. And I was looking at using the Mamiya 645mm format camera to do some macro photography for these pictures I wanted for my studio. And then I started thinking about, well, what do I want in these pictures? I was looking at screws and springs and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden it occurred to me, well, hang on a minute, I love film photography, why not shoot some of the details on my cameras and put them up on the wall as abstract wall art? And to do so, I'm going to be using the Mamiya 645, and lens caps fell off. Also this Mamiya macro lens, which is a 120mm lens. So I'm going to be using this lens to take photographs of some of the details on these cameras. And these are the frames I bought. Now I bought these frames, they're pretty cheap. I've got a few of these already indoors, and you know, they look quite nice. I wouldn't want to be selling these to people, but they look okay in my home to complement the prints that I'm making. So these are about £4 a piece, and they're 20x16 frames, and I'll be able to put some nice photographs inside. And I'm also going to be using, as you can see on here, this is black matte board that I've got, so I'll be cutting these as well. So in this video I'm going to take you through what I'm doing step by step as I take the photographs, and then developing the photographs, printing the photographs in the darkroom, getting them matted, framed, and then on the wall. So I'm going to go through the whole process. Hopefully it won't be too much of a long video, but if it's long, it's long. So the film I'm going to be using is Ilford's HP5 400. I like using this film, and generally I get good results when I push it. I'm going to be pushing this to 1600, and I'm going to be developing in Rodnall because I want these images to look a little bit grainy, a bit gritty, and a bit edgy. I don't want them to look smooth and very clean. So this is the film I'm going to be using, and later on that's the development process I'm going to be using also. So let's get on with metering up and see what we can do with these cameras. So the first camera I'm going to start off is the Electro 35. Now I've got a small some air spray there just to get some of the dust off the areas I want to work with. And the Electro 35, I love these little lights, the slow and overexposed indicators. So I'm going to start with these, and then I may do a couple of shots on here, and then on the shutter dial, and then maybe one on the lens itself. So let's see how it works. So that's it, photographs done, and next thing to do is now develop the film. Take the film out of the camera, put it into the developing tank, and get the Rodnall out, mix up some chems. First thing I need to do is see how long I need to develop the Rodnall and what mix I want for the push that I've been using on this film. Like I said earlier, I pushed it to 1600, so let's get on with that and see what we can come up with. Okay, so I'm now ready to go. The film's inside the tank. I've got my Rodnall solution there. I've got the this is distilled water, stop bath and fixer. Now the Rodnall mix that I've done for this HP5 at pushing it at 1600, I followed the massive dev chart, and it says to do 1 part Rodnall to 25 parts water. So I've got 900 millilitres in there. So if you go 900 divided by 25, it gives you 36 millilitres. So in there is 36 millilitres of Rodnall. In it goes. And it's at 20 degrees Celsius. Give it a little mix. And before I do this, I'm just going to pre-wash the film. I usually pre-wash my medium format films, don't ask me why. It's just habit, so I'm going to pre-wash this now. and you can see the pre-wash is all gone blue. That's the I don't know what that is, Dana film maybe. If you know let us know in the comments if you know what this stuff is. I suppose it's just the layer of the film, but anyway, put that over there. So I'm all ready to go. Last thing I need is a timer. Now it says the massive dev chart says 12 minutes, so that's what I'm going to go by. I use my phone for my timer, 12 minutes, and I'll start that once I've poured the chemicals in. So I'm going to pour the chemicals in, and then we'll pour the developer in, I should say, and then agitate for just 5 turns every minute throughout the 12-minute process. So let's get on with that now. In goes the rod knoll. And that'll fill the tank for this. A bit too much actually. And start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give it a tap, and I'm going to stop the camera now, get on with the stop and the fix, and because I'm just going to be doing this for 12 minutes, so it'll be a bit boring to watch. So that's what I'm going to be doing, just 5 agitations every minute until I get down to the last minute, and then put the stop in for a minute, and then the fix for about another 5 minutes. Watch the film, and then we're ready to have a look at our negatives. Okay, so there's a little tip for you actually. I've just fixed the film for 6 minutes, and my fixer must be starting to get exhausted because it didn't cut the mustard. It hasn't fixed the film properly. Although I've washed the film, I can still pour the fixer back inside the tank. Now I should really mix up some new fixer, but I'm just going to let it sit in this fixer for a little bit longer, and it will take all the fog off the film, leaving me with a nice clean film. Well, the very first time I saw this happen, I was really sort of, oh my god, it hasn't fixed the film, hasn't fixed the film, the film's trashed. Just put it back in the fixer for a little bit longer and it'll clear. Okay, so the film's just now sitting in the wash aid and it's ready to come out. Moment of truth. Shake the excess off. And in case you're wondering, I'm flicking water all over my darkroom, the door's open. It's going outside. Okay, let's have a look. Voila! They're pretty good to me. Let's get these hung up to dry, and we'll come back when they're dry and see how they look. Okay, so far so good. I wanted to make some prints, some abstracty macro kind of prints. Like I said before, I was looking at springs and screws and stuff. Then all of a sudden it dawned on me, if these prints are going to be framed in my studio, I may as well make them about something I love, which is film photography. So, you know, taking photographs of my old cameras that I use regularly seems like a sensible idea. All I've got to do now is tidy up the darkroom, get all this wet away and dry off the surfaces, ready for evaluating negatives, making the contact sheet, making some prints, making the mats, getting them in the frame and getting them on the wall. So I'll be back in a little while. I've got my negatives already cut up into 3 strips now. These are the pictures that I'll be working with. The first thing I've got to do is to make a contact print. Now if you haven't seen my video on how to make a contact print, the process what I'm going to do now I've already recorded, so I'll put a link to that up in the description of the top there of the video for you to click on, but keep watching this video and come back to that. So what I'm going to do now is just make a contact print so that I can see the photographs correctly exposed and see where we can go from there in the print. Okay, so I've established that 10 seconds is going to be best for me, I hope. Let's put a bit of 10x8 inside the easel there. Give it a bash. I'm just blowing on top of the paper, just so that no hair is going to fall on it. There you go. So I'm not going to do any dodging and burning, just literally going to put it in the developer and see how it comes out. Okay, so that's it. I've got the prints back. It was quite a quick darkroom session. Once I set the enlarger up, the first print was 10 seconds. I just did the rest of them at 10 seconds and they've all come out reasonably well. So I'll just quickly go through them, and I'm glad I did it this way because now I can choose which three I want to put in those frames for my studio. I quite like this one, which was the Pentax Spotmatic shutter dial. Quite like that. It's a nice depth in this photograph. And I've got this one here from the Canon EF, which again is quite a nice print. They're all nice really. I'm going to have trouble deciding which one. That's the Pentax Spotmatic. That's the little pack set camera that I took a photograph of. And we've got again the Canon EF. This one I probably won't use. It's a bit too dark around this side, but the timer looks quite nice on it. But I think that's one that's going to go to one side. Again, the Canon EF again, the shutter speed dial there, quite a nice photograph. That's showing the flash sinks of the pack set, the Braun pack set camera. It's quite a nice one. And I've got the Spotmatic again, the timing arm on the Spotmatic. This one's quite nice. This was the Yashica. Yeah, it's the Yashica Electro on the lens there. Quite nice. Got some nice deep tones on that one. And that was inside the Pentax Spotmatic. Another nice print. And this one here is the Electro 35, the top. I could have done with printing this again. Actually, it's a bit. I think I should have maybe gone about maybe 15 to 20 seconds on the enlarger with that, just to bury those blacks in a bit deeper. But hey ho, here's what it is. So now I've got to decide which print I want to, or which three prints that I want to frame, or matte and frame, and use in my studio. So I'm just going to pan the camera around so you can have a quick look again at these prints. So I've whittled it down to these are my favourites, and I've put my three best ones at the bottom there, and I'm not going to have them landscape, I'm going to put them portrait. Hello George. So we're going to put these ones to one side, maybe frame these another time. So these are the ones we're going to choose, and they're going to sit in our frames as portrait. I'll put this one in the middle because the other two on the other side are more black. This one's got more silver, so I just thought it'd set them off quite nicely as a threesome on the wall. So let's get the frames, let's get the mount board, and let's get the mount board cutter. So this is my mount board cutter here that I always use when I'm cutting mounts, and you'll recognise some of the other stuff from the Darkroom, the anti-static brush. I've got a glove here just to wipe the print before I put it into the frame. A couple of measuring rulers and the cutting tools there. So the first thing I need to do is to get the back of the frame out and make sure that my mount board is exactly 20 by 16. So there you go, that's the first one of my prints framed. I've got 2 more to do, and I'll show you them at the end of the video. I'm not going to go through it all again, but I'll show you them on the wall when they're finished. So this is the first one I've done. Now don't take this for gospel as the way you should mat and frame print, because it's not. It's the way I do it for home, and in a couple of months time I'll probably take this print out and put a different one in there just to change the wall art around in my home. And if I was to sell the print, it would go off to the framers where they can professionally frame it and professionally mat it as well, using all the proper acid-free stuff. But I like it, so let's get on with the other 2 and put it up in my studio. So there you go, quite a productive photo shoot for me. As I said, originally I wanted to get some abstracting macro stuff, and I was looking at screws and springs, and a slinky came to mind as well. I couldn't find one, and you know, just to have framed prints in my study room here. But all of a sudden I thought, well, hang on a minute, I love film. Why don't I shoot macro shots of some of my film cameras? And that's exactly what I've done. And I'm quite happy with the prints. They're going to sit there now behind me. As I said, in a couple of months' time, I might change the prints around, I might not, I don't know. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and it's inspired you to do some stuff with film. Please like it and subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss the next one.